Give it up for Marc Panzer. Come on up here, Marc. Yes. Keep that energy going. Hey. Thanks for that applause. I will try to live up to it. Had a problem my whole life living up to my potential, and I'll tell you who started it, my freaking elementary school teachers. I'm sorry, do you remember those progress reports you'd have? And the big one for me was, Marc is not working up to his ability. You know, he's a good student, but he's not working up to his ability. You know, and that was like hard for me because the last thing my parents needed to hear, you know? Like even now, 30 years later, they're still waiting for this magical ability that's never gonna come. Like I'm gonna become an astronaut like I'm 40 years old. I wish they just set their expectations a little bit lower, you know? The bar, just be like, Mr. and Mrs. Panzer, your son is 8 and he's in 3rd grade and, well, he's peaked. He's not gonna get better than this and we're just gonna give him a lump of clay and have him sit in the corner for the rest of the time. And I would have been a lot happier because I love clay, it's amazing. But I'm clayless. And it is what it is. One thing I am living up to my potential as is an uncle. My sister just had her first child about 7, 8 months ago and I became an uncle for the first time. And it's awesome. I mean, I'm sure you guys are aunts and uncles. It is like the most fun ever, right? Because, you know, it's like being a parent. It's like being a parent, right? Without all that pesky parenting. You know what I mean? That hard work. It's just like all fun all the time. Having a nephew is like having a kid with like TiVo installed, because you know like TiVo you can watch TV, forward through shit, and then watch TV, and with a nephew you can literally forward through the shit. You know, you can just like it happens like you are so fun, mommy, and Uncle Marc has no responsibility. This is so awesome. But my nephew just passed a milestone, which is not awesome for me. He now has more hair than I do. And you know, my friends and family love to joke about it. It's like, oh, my kid has more hair than you. My baby's 2 days old, has more hair than you, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be on my tombstone. Here lies Marc Panzer. You probably had more hair than him, you know? That was my mortician's voice, by the way. But you know, it is what it is. I'm bald, I know it. Or as I like to think of it, my scalp is not working up to its ability. But you know, I'm bald, and what are you gonna do? It's not a bad thing. It's like, what I really hate about it is, as I get older, is that the rest of my body seems to be mocking my head. Because you know what I mean? Because it's growing hair in all different places. I swear to God, I got like a Jackson Pollock spin art thing on here. If I took my shirt off, you'd be like, he looks like a defective chia pet, is what's going on right now. It's a horrible thing. I'm pretty sure when like God was making me, he got drunk and tripped. He's like, and now for the hair. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's gonna look horrible when he gets older. That's a clumsy God. This is the worst though. I was yelled at my mirror the other day, no joke. I found my first gray hair. It's like, come on, gray and bald. I mean, like, I can do one or the other. Like, even gray, that's not the thing, right? Like, you know, women are kind of like, ooh, well, it's distinguished. I like the salt and pepper look, right? But when you're gray and bald, it's not salt and pepper. It's salt and, you know, more salt. It's all salt. It's like a hard-boiled egg with just salt, you know? And I'm not saying I'm a gargoyle up here, folks, but just once in my life, I wanted to be like Fonzie. Remember Fonzie from Happy Days? And the opening credits, there's that shot with him in a comb in a mirror, and he's like, hey, I don't have to do anything, I'm perfect, you know? I would love to do that. I mean, I guess I kind of do that, but it's more like, hey, I don't have to do anything, I'm bald. I don't even know why I bought this comb. Seems like a waste of money in retrospect. Better for you guys. But I think I just hate mirrors in general. They're my natural enemy. You know where I hate mirrors? At the gym. Because basically at the gym I get caught in like stares, and I mean not the treadmill, like the visual stares, you know, like the girls up on the machines and stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but my gym, it's like a fucking prison. It's like a fun house. Like there's mirrors everywhere, so everywhere you look you get caught, you know? You're like, oh shit, she sees me. Oh shit, she still sees me. Oh God, she still sees me. And then you try to make up for it by looking at anything like, I don't have a watch. This is a fine bench, good craftsmanship. You know, there's no way to get out of it. Perhaps I should just go up and talk to them and get a date, but that would be mature. Why would I do that? Dating though, speaking of dating, I tried again for like the 18th time to go on these online things, but I can't stand like the eHarmonies of the world, because I don't know if you've gone on there at all, but like it's literally like taking a test, filling out your profile. It's like a Scantron, it's like a fucking SAT test, that's what it is. And it's an apt analogy because they can fail you. You know, like they can, like there are some that'll be like, we're not gonna make you a match. Which is kind of fucked up for me, right? Because isn't me just being here like my admission, like, I failed at Earth and like human male-female interaction in the world? Like, you can't just turn around and go, We have no matches. Your fears have been confirmed. Dateless wonder. It's kind of wrong for that computer to talk like that. But the real thing I hate about it is like it's like they make you list 100 traits for you and rank yourself, which I always hate, right? It's like literally, it's like, oh, you're Jewish? Are you a little Jewish? Are you like regular Jewish? Are you 5 towns Long Island Jewish? I mean, it's like, you know, they just want to know your ranking. And the one that stopped me, was sexy. I was like, I put somewhat sexy? Do you guys think I'm like somewhat sexy? I mean, I think that's that's my answer then. I guess I am not somewhat sexy. But thank you I was expecting at least a little bit of a woo, like, woo! Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It's like, woo, we're indifferent. But that's why, and again, I like yelled at my computer. I'm like, you know, enough with this and stuff. And I realized actually as I was writing this, I yell at inanimate objects a lot. My mirror, my TV, my computer. I think I'm like yelling at things that aren't alive more and more. So if you see me outside yelling at a parking meter, you'll know what's going on. I'll be like, you think you're better than me, parking meter? Just because you're full of money? Oh, you don't own me. Look, I'll end with this. You know, I still do want to meet someone despite all this. And one thing I'm thinking, tell me this is a good idea. I live across from a park, and yeah, I'm thinking of bringing my nephew with me because you know girls like adorable things, right? But you know, I'm getting older, and you know, I have limited ability, and I'm gonna have a salt shaker for a head soon. So I gotta speed it up. So what I'm thinking of doing is bringing my nephew, but also renting a puppy. And then I'm going to duct tape the two of them together and send out my baby puppy into the park and try to find it, hoping like a hot girl finds this dog-baby hybrid for me, right? You know, or hopefully not a cop, but we'll see. And I'll go there, and you know, I'll come up, and then eventually I'll swoop in, and she'll be like, "Oh, you found them," and she'll be like, "Oh, are these yours?" And I'll be like, "Yes, they are. Aren't they adorable?" And she's like, "Oh my God, yes, they are." And they have more hair than you. Because you're bald, is what I'm saying. Yes, I have a mirror. Thank you very much. Give me my dog, baby. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. Awesome.